congratulations, Megan Kimmel, here at the finish line of Pikes Peak Marathon, Manitou Springs, having smashed a record dating back almost 40 years. Wow!
Yeah, it's almost as old as I am.
Now, how do you explain, what is there so special about a record that allows it to stand for 40 years in such a race where you've got basically the best of the world, if not every year, just about?
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to, I think it's a testament to the strength of this race and how long it's been running and how long like a woman has held that record means that even back in 1981 they were running really, really strong, so I feel lucky.
Do you think it really took a Coloradoan to beat this record at Colorado?
No, but I think probably the chances are higher because for someone coming from somewhere else, they have to be adjusted to altitude, and this is an altitude that's hard for a lot of Europe to actually even train in, being 3,000 meters and above. And then also, if you're coming from a different place, then you have the travel factor too. So I definitely think it's possible to have it done by an outsider or a foreigner, but I think it would probably take some pretty specific focus for this one particular race.
For those of our listeners which are not familiar with the Pikes Peak Marathon, we may say its history comes down to 63 editions. What else would you explain about what makes it peculiar?
Well, I mean, it also did have the first woman before running the marathon, before even Boston. So I mean, by 8 years or so. So I think that's just a testament to this area and its progressive way of thinking, which Colorado has been proven to have done multiple times in different areas of politics. But the thing about this race that's different is the altitude, without a doubt, and the gain in elevation within that. And here in Colorado, it's kind of known to be a race that draws a lot of Colorado women from a lot of different disciplines. Like you normally do have you get strong women that are more in the road aspect of things because of the style of the uphill race. But other than that, I think number one for sure is the altitude.
You start at 2,000 meter high, you go all the way up to 4,300 meter, and you still have to go back.
Yeah, yep.
Probably, as the cyclists say, the catch is right at the beginning of the downhill. If you have overpushed yourself, then you're probably dizzy, unstable, and fall down, and that hurts.
Yeah. You have to be kind of careful up top because exactly of all those factors, being dizzy and being really tired from the uphill. And if there's any area of the course that's more technical, it is up there with rocks and sand and gravel. And then also they have these really hard switchbacks, really hard, almost 300 degrees, And in some areas it's really hard to even tell where those switchbacks are. So it's a little bit jerky, And here in the States, you cannot cut switchbacks. So it kind of has a weird little flow to it for the first couple miles, but it's okay because that's when you're a little bit loopy and it's good to kind of take it easy for the first mile or two and then start hammering for the rest of the downhill.
This year you had Cristina Mascañares, which was the winner of last year, and you had Laura Arge, which you have raced against several times. Did you expect to break away so early and so clearly?
I wasn't really sure. Yeah, so no, I certainly wasn't expecting it. Because, I don't know, you never know in a race, especially here. I mean, someone else could, have the breakaway that maybe no one even knows yet, being that there's a lot of strong Colorado runners, But I was really impressed with Laura's race, coming from Europe, having done the travel, not living in the altitude that Pikes sits at. So she really impressed me with how close she was to me at the top. I thought she had a magnificent race. And of course, Mascarena's downhill skills are impressive as well.
Okay. Well, this is the fourth stage of the Golden Trail Series. You're familiar with several of those races. You've done quite well at Sugama as well. How would you try to explain to the fans what brings together those races and what sets them apart?
I think the history definitely brings them together, and like kind of their high caliber of race. You know, like this is one of the best races, if not the best mountain race within like its history in the United States. And I think that can be said for all of the other races in the Golden Trail Series, which I think makes it a very unique race. And I think there's variety in every single particular race. You know, Zegama is very different than here, but that also brings the whole race series together because it's not just one style. You know, you have someone who does really well at, like Zegama is not exactly gonna maybe be a shoe-in for Pikes Peak, and so you need to be a pretty well-rounded runner in order to kind of finish in the top 10 of the Golden Trail Series.
You mentioned Colorado's pioneering efforts into the women's sports. I was truly impressed coming from Europe. Yesterday we did the recon all the way, the Pikes Peak descent, and we came across all the peloton doing the ascent. I was truly impressed about the huge number of women, you know, of all ages, all levels of fitness, you know, taking on their own challenge for the sake of it, with their family, with their friends, on their own. How has that come about?
Well, I mean, I have to say, it's one thing I really, really, really love about the American culture. I mean, it's not all perfect and all of that, but, you know, there's just, Americans tend to just want to have fun, and there's not a lot of ego or like, I need to do well. It's just like, hey, like, let's get together with friends, family, or even by themselves just to do something, you know, just to do something more than they've done in the past, push themselves a little bit, or just go enjoy the day. So yeah, you know, and I guess that's just one thing I think Americans do really well.
Okay, well, you and I know that we both love Colorado, your home region. I've been here plenty of times. What would you tell to a Spanish runner to come enjoy, let's say, Pikes Peak Marathon, let's say Leadville, let's say Hard Rock? I mean, there's so many wonderful races here, or traverses from No Lands 14 to unknown races. You know, what would you tell a Spaniard to travel on to Colorado and enjoy its trails? What's special about Colorado?
Oh, Colorado, it's, if you ask me, what really sets it apart from Europe is there's a chance to be running in more solitude within nature a little bit more than you get in Europe. And I think that that's a really big and like special thing to go travel for. Yeah.
It definitely does. Like, for example, the bike lane out of Leadville is fully equipped with watch out for the bears.
Yeah.
For a European, that's heart stopping.
Yeah, you can run into a bear on a bicycle. It's happened before. So, yeah. And, you know, second to that, there's a lot of different trails, a lot of different wilderness areas. So, you know, there's just a lot of different opportunities regardless of, like, what kind of running you like to do. And the wildflowers on a good year are magnificent.
To me, it's funny that it's also quite present, the pioneering spirit, you know, like the miners, the cowboys. In some other places, it's low, it has kind of disappeared. But here, it's like people are quite proud, and you see memorials, and you see flags, and old stuff everywhere.
Yeah, it's true. If you ask me, like, of all of Colorado, and I know Colorado pretty well, for some reason this area up in Manitou Springs, Colorado Springs, it still has the most historic feel to me. And I can't really pinpoint it on one thing, but I still feel like a pioneering spirit here more than anywhere else in Colorado.
Okay, well, this goes for Sebulon, you know, this capital of Pikes Peak.
Right?
Well, congratulations, Megan. A pleasure to meet you again, and I'm sure you've got plenty to say this season. Next stop, Chamonix.
Yep. Next stop, the TDS in 10 days. So I look forward to kind of hopefully taking it down a notch, and in some ways, as far as speed goes, anyways. And it'll be a new challenge for me. It'll be the longest I've ever run, and I'm just going to go out there and just try to enjoy as much as I can of that area and the scene, the ambiance of UTMB.
I'm sure you'll love it. The scenery is wonderful.
Excellent.
Well, congratulations.
We'll see you out there.